Hey, I'm live. The lighting is so weird. I don't understand. Hey, people of the interwebs and all that. It's so streaky. I don't understand. Give me a second. I'm just going to. I don't understand what's going on. Okay, that was a little better. Okay, I just need to de-smudge it with my finger. All right. Hey. Oh, in fact, it looked pretty bad, so it's better if I just leave myself blank face. Hi, everybody. Everyone who's piling up there, that's amazing. It's really cold in Australia, apparently. Well, I'm very sorry. Hopefully this will warm you up. I'm full of cheesy jokes like that. All right. We have got to... I've made a 90s playlist here on my phone. So we're just going to let it roll and see what we get. So we're going to start with an old favorite here.
Hi, Bobby. Hi, Kim. You want to go for a ride?
Everyone likes Barbie Girl, right? You guys remember the 90s, back when people actually knew that Y-O-U''RE was a word? Anyway, so start telling me what your favorite part of the 90s was, because I want to know. I'm going to sit here and like jam. I'm sorry. I'm shaking the heck out of the camera. Anyway. So the other night was particularly fun, got me in the mood for the 90s because that is so distracting. Oh my God, I should have rethought that. And Mike came in here. This is my room, by the way. This is my awesome Harry Potter closet behind me, which we'll pretend doesn't exist because Harry Potter wasn't movies in the 90s. But anyways, we were in here and we were watching Mystery Science Theater 3000 on my laptop, which the laptop wasn't a 90s thing either. I mean, well, the old ones were, but neither was Netflix. Anyways, so I had these VHS tapes when I was in junior high school, which was 1997, 1998. Yeah, I'm old. And I'm like trying to not sing to Barbie Girl, excuse me. Yeah, I had all these VHS tapes of recorded Mystery Science Theater 3000 episodes, which was so cool because someone I met on this new thing called the internet and became pen pals with actually mailed them to me because we didn't have television. So I would sit in my room at night by myself because I'm really lonely like that. And I would just watch these VHS tapes of Mystery Science Theater like over and over and over and over and over again. So Mike and I were in here doing that the other night and it was like the coolest thing ever. So it really took me back. So what do we got? Some people's favorite things from the 90s. We've got platform shoes. Totally. Okay. Oh, 90s music is just hands down the best music ever. I mean, come on, Barbie, let's go party. Oh, wow. Right? Excuse my bad singing, but anyways. Okay, so gel bracelets, yes. Oh, you guys remember slap bracelets? I need to get those. Oh my God. I had so many. We used to have this thing in school, the school store. Did you guys have that? Or maybe it's still a thing. I don't know. But we would go every once in a while. And school store day was like the best day ever because you got to get out of class and go down to the art room, right? In this little like cave underneath the gymnasium. That's where the art room was. I guess it's appropriate. But, and they would set up stuff in the school store where you could get like pencils and erasers and the slap bracelets and posters and like notebooks. And, you know, it's also where they'd set up the secret Santa store where you could buy crap for your parents without them knowing about it, you know, but you'd ask them for money for it anyway. But anyways, and, you know what else that reminds me of? The Scholastic store. Did you guys ever have like the book fair at school where they would come and they would set it up in the library is where they did it at our school. And the bookmobile, or yeah, I guess it was the bookmobile. I don't like that. You guys remember Hamster Dance? I'm sorry. Anyway, so the book fair would come, the Scholastic Book Fair, and it was like for a whole week. And you go to the library and they got like all these books and like posters of kittens. Like posters of kittens was huge in the 90s. I think I had like 28 posters with kittens on them in the 90s. That's like all my room was. And I used to splurge on books like nothing else. I'd be like, Mom, I need like $50. It's book fair week. And she would like totally give me the money because books are awesome and they're still awesome. We're just going to jam to Hamster Dance for a second, okay?
That's all there is to it.
If any of you guys don't know what hamster dance is, go to hamsterdance.com when the stream is over, because it's the greatest thing ever. Except in the 90s, all it was, because the internet was new and fresh, you know, hamsterdance.com was literally nothing except for rows and rows and rows of pixelated dancing hamsters. And they were dancing to this. And it was just like rows of little pixelated hamsters just doing that to this. And that's all it was. It wasn't interactive, no links to click, nothing. That's all it was. And it was the coolest thing ever. Oh my gosh. So let's see. Scary stories to tell in the dark. I still have never seen that somehow, but I do have my original collection of Goosebumps books. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, they're not here. They're at my mom's house, but they are all preserved in their original condition in a crate. And I had every single one of them, and I still do, and they're all the original ones. Fun story about the Goosebumps books. This is what I used to do with those. Okay, hamster dance is like totally distracting me. Give me a second. So we're going to listen to I'm Blue by Eiffel 65. You remember that? Anyways, so I had all the Goosebumps books, and what I would do is, I think it was, I want to say 1995, 4, 5, 6, something like that. And I used to take about, I don't know, 10 Goosebumps books at a time. And I would take them to school with me, and I'd stuff them in my backpack. And what I would do is I would stack them on the floor next to my desk. And throughout the day, other students would like ask to borrow a book. Like they'd want to borrow my Goosebumps books. And I would lend them to students throughout the day. And I'd usually get rid of all of them. And I was very trustworthy. And everyone always returned the Goosebumps books to me, like the next day when they were done. And I would bring like a new stack the next day. And then they would, it was like I had my own little personal Goosebumps lending library. It's very strange. I don't know what persuaded me to do that, but I guess I wanted to share the love. And yeah, I remember that. And I got every single one of my books back. So I guess people were more trustworthy in the 90s too. I don't know. Someone says, did you ever hear of the Shivers books? They were sold at the dollar store. I did not. I have not ever heard of those. If they're still around, I'll look them up though. That would be pretty cool. Let's see. Who's quoting the Blue song? Name a Crayola crayon. Oh yeah, that was that thing where they had the giant. I found my giant box of Crayolas today. I'm not gonna go get it, but I found it, and they had the thing where you could like name the crayon. And I remember macaroni and cheese was the one I remember. It like stands out in my mind for some reason. So, anyways, all right. What do you got? Oh, by the way, I'm wearing my "You're Killing Me" Smalls ham T-shirt. The Sandlot, best thing ever. Just gonna say that right now. It's like, what is it about 90s music? It was so simple, you know? It's like, music is simple now, but it was like more simple in the 90s. It was more complex, but more simple. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? It was just like all this happy stuff. It was just like, I don't know. There was like all these really sappy love songs and like really upbeat, happy songs. And it was like the synthesizer was still on its way out from the 80s, but we still hadn't gotten to like the voice warping thing of like the 2000s. So it was like, it was kind of, I don't know, this mix of raw and technological at the same time. And it's like everybody was just always in a good mood in the 90s. That's how I remember it anyway. Oh man, the nostalgia, man. Let's see, what else? Did I ever have the Cheeky Girls? Oh no, I've never heard of the Cheeky Girls. But if, hey, that's your own version of nostalgia, then that's amazing. I'm glad that you can bring that to our 90s chill. Oh, the Choose Your Own Adventure books. Oh my God. I had so many of those. R.L. Stine isn't the only one who made those. Those were like a huge thing. They were like through all kinds of genres. I had so many of those. I even wrote my own ones. I was like 10 years old and wrote my own Choose Your Own Adventure. I had like this notebook and I like wrote it, and then I would be like randomly turn to page, 55, and then I would just like count to page 55 and then like continue it, and then I'd go back. And I don't know if I still have that or my mom does or not, but I absolutely love Choose Your Own Adventure books. I don't know why they stopped. Those were really cool. Well, we have Tupac, but I'm not feeling that right now. Hold on. I gotta play DJ here.
Ladies, all nice and decent.
That's great. Oh, it's Fly. Do you guys remember this? Sugar Ray. Okay, so let me see. My biggest memories from the 90s include being on my elementary school basketball team and not playing ever. I am not good at sports, but I wanted to be on the team with all my friends, and they were all pretty decent. But I was like slow and short and pudgy and suck at sports. So I'd like go to the practices, and we would all like ride to and from the practices, like carpool in one of the parents' cars, and listen to Salt and Peppa was really big that year. So there was a lot of Salt and Peppa on the radio. So that's what I associate with basketball practice. And at the games, literally, I was just like warming the bench the whole time. I think I played like one little part of one game ever, and I was okay with that because I was so bad. I was like, I don't need to do this. I'm just going to sit here and cheer for everyone else. And then in 97, 98, I did become a cheerleader. Fun fact. Can you believe I was a cheerleader? Oh, it's so embarrassing. I was the short, chunky cheerleader. I was decent though. You know, I could herky like nobody's business. I could do a split. I can't now, but you know, I could. So there's that. I have that in my repertoire. Used to be able to do a split. And so like I remember those, like going to like the practices for like basketball and cheerleading, even though I didn't particularly care for either one of them because I was just trying so bad to fit in. I think I just wanted to do what I thought would make me like with the in people. So I was like, I'll be in sports, I'll be a cheerleader, and then people will like me. But yeah, it didn't really happen that way. So I just felt weird and was still that girl sitting alone in her basement all by herself watching VHSs of MST3K. And that's okay. Man, if YouTube would have existed back then, I would have hung out with you guys and we would have been like super tight. And it would have been awesome because I would have had somebody to bond with and I wouldn't have felt like such a loser. But it's because I felt like a loser that I became this person, and I like this, you know? I'm so happy right now. I'm just like basking in all this 90s glory. I'm switching, let's see. All right. Which I'm just going to... We had a cheerleading dance that we did to this. I'm pretty sure every school in the United States did a cheerleading dance to this. Wait, we gotta wait for the breakdown. Okay, you gonna break down with me? All right, hold on. This is the extent of my dancing ability, by the way. I'm so lame. I'm sorry. Please tell me I'm not the only person who was obsessed with this song in the 90s. But I was obsessed with the one without the lyrics. You know, the one, the cheerleading one, because we did that. Oh, I'm going to read some comments. Okay, let me see. Oh, Pokemon cards. Oh, my God. I was never personally into Pokemon, but I remember everyone else was. Like, literally every other person I know had Pokemon stuff. And I, for some reason, was the one who didn't get into it. I don't know why. That's so silly. Oh, cheer flashbacks. I know. I'm having cheerleader flashbacks too. It's insane. And oh, I still can't believe I was a cheerleader. That's so weird. And then I went on to, you know, be in marching band. So I was just like, mega nerd. So, but hey, whatever. Okay, I have like music ADD. Oh my God. And it went to this next, of course. You guys remember this, right? You know what's funny is that Mike's in the other room probably hearing this from here and watching at the same time. So he's probably sitting there like 90s in stereo right now is what's going on. So I'm jealous of him. I'm going to read some comments. Okay, let me see. Oh my gosh. You went to a Sugar Ray concert? That's awesome. Holy crap. Oh my gosh, The Craft. Okay. So was this just me, or did everybody become a witch for like 5 minutes after watching The Craft? I know I did. I went all out. I made a little altar, burnt incense, lit candles. I'm like, yeah, I can do this. I can summon snakes and, get that cute guy to like me. And then I was like, yeah, no, I definitely can't do this. Well, anyway, that was a good movie. So, I think we all became witches after watching The Craft. I think it's just kind of like a rule. That's what happened. I'm just like, so... This is what I do, by the way, when I'm like not YouTubing and I'm just like sitting by myself. I just like put on the jams and just sit here and I'm just like, except nobody's watching, and that's the difference. This is the beauty of magic of being around me, right? I'm definitely sweating. I'm wearing my fuzzy Hello Kitty pajamas for the occasion because Hello Kitty is so retro. Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Yes. See, I didn't have television, so I wasn't privy to the same TV nostalgia as everybody else. So, but I definitely remember that. Strangely enough, I just bought like seasons 1 through 6 of Dawson's Creek, even though I've never seen it. Just because I know that it's like a quintessential 90s thing, and I just like, no, I'm going to skip this now. I gotta find a good one. Hold on. No. Oh my God. Ace of Base. Interesting story about Ace of Base. Okay, check this out. I had a yak back. I want to say this was 5th grade. Okay, so it was like 1995 or something. Do you guys remember yak backs? Okay, if you don't remember what a yak back is, it was this weird shaped little device about this big. It was like a kind of a teardrop shaped thing. You hold it in your hand, and it had like a little round speaker on it right here. And you push the little button and you say something in it. And of course it like repeats it back. I don't remember if maybe you could change the thing to make it sound funny or something, but I definitely just remember it was called a yak back, and that's what you did. It was just this little toy that just echoed what you said. And so I had this thing, and people were just like, I don't know, really envious that I had this, I guess, because I brought it to school. And the sign by Ace of Base was like kind of big that year, I guess. And one of my classmates, she told me, she's like, okay, I will trade you for like a few days. I think it was like 3 days or something. I'll trade you my Ace of Base CD for your yak back for 3 days. And I was like, all right. So I borrowed the CD, right? I took it home. I immediately put it in my little, stereo thingy and put in a blank cassette tape. You remember those? And hit record. You had to push the record button and the play button at the same time. Hit record and basically recorded the Ace of Base CD onto a cassette tape so that I would have it. And so I continued to have the Ace of Base album, and I also got my yak back. So that's my story about that. And that takes me to the ultimate 90s experience, making a mixtape. Any of you who have not experienced the joy of sitting up late at night and doing math to figure out how many songs could fit in what order on a cassette tape and then recording them such from your CDs, if you have not experienced that joyous stress, I'm sorry, because that was like the best thing, and there will never be anything like it ever again, making a mixtape. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you had to grab a song from another tape that you recorded off the radio because you didn't actually have the album version of it. So how you obtained it was you waited until it came on the radio, you scrambled, put your cassette tape in the thing and hit record, and you'd like miss like the first like 2 seconds of it, or the DJ would be talking over the beginning or the end or something. And that's how you had that song. So you put that on the mixtape with all the other ones. And oh man, I made like a million mixtapes because, I sat alone in my basement all the time and had no friends. So mixtapes were a big part of my life. And being the naive person that I was, I thought I invented the idea of a mixtape, honestly, because my mom was like, "Oh, I like Weird Al Yankovic," and I'm just like, "Oh my god, me too. Weird Al Yankovic is the best," you know. So she wanted me to make her a tape of one of the Weird Al Yankovic albums, and I was like, "Well, there's a couple of songs on there that I'm not really fond of, so we won't put them on there." And then it hit me. My brilliant, like 12-year-old self was like, "I have the ability to mix and match songs on this cassette tape any way that I want." So I like totally thought that I came up with the idea of the mixtape. To my dismay, I did not, or I would be very rich right now, or at least very well known, I guess. But yeah, I definitely didn't come up with the mixtape, but I thought I did, and that's what counts. I'm special to myself, and that's really what the 90s was all about. That's why we all grew up entitled, right? I don't know, something like that. That's my Walking on the Sun pantomime. I'm going to skip to one more song. Oh. Perfect. Perfect. You guys going to do it with me? You have to. You met Weird Al when you were in high school? I am so jealous. I went to one of his concerts once, and I actually got an autographed picture, but okay. Now, hold on. LimeWire. I remember that big thing with Napster. There was like that huge scandal, and now downloads are everywhere. My bun is going to fall down. I get to see Will Ferrell and Chris Kattan, and Jim Carrey is the one in my mind with the trio. Just, oh my god, man! You guys remember back before Will Ferrell was famous? Talk about like whoa, like whoa. Yeah, let's go Valley Girl. There's nothing more 90s than Valley Girl. Clueless, best movie ever. Speaking of Valley Girl. Hair crimping. Oh, that was left over from the 80s, so we're not going to take responsibility for hair crimping. That's on them. But we did have Topsy Tail. Do you guys remember Topsy Tail? It was that weird looking like thing with the hoop and the stick, and you like made a ponytail and you stuck it in the back of your ponytail and like flipped your hair through it and pulled it through, and it like did that weird like inside out thing. Do you remember that? I had a Topsy Tail. I was like, "Mom, I have to have this." So she like totally ordered me a Topsy Tail. I think I used it twice, and I don't know what happened to it, but yeah. I had a Skip It as well, by the way. Skip It's were where it was at. Unless you hit yourself in the ankle with the big clunky end. That didn't feel so good. But other than that, you know, Skip It's were great. Remember when people used to play outside? That was good fun. Mm-hmm. Oh. This is so much fun. Lisa Frank. Yes. 100% exclusively my school supplies were Lisa Frank. Like, all of them. I was absolutely obsessed. And that was when, like, neon colors on black was, like, huge, you know, because that's what Lisa Frank was. And I remember that we had these coloring contests in 3rd grade. I'm switching the song. We did not forget about Dre. We just don't want to listen to him right now. Hold on. Coloring contest. Oh, okay. None of Your Business by Salt and Pepper. Perfect. So anyway, we had these coloring contests in 3rd grade, and it was like a weekly thing or something. And there was this one girl who literally, no matter what the picture was, she would always do bright colors on top of black. And we would turn the things. It's none of your business. We would turn the things and we hung them up back, like with their back against the wall so that you couldn't see the person's name on the back. So nobody knew whose was whose. And I never won this coloring contest ever, by the way. Okay. But this girl, she would always do the neon colors on top of black. And she won every single week. And it drove me insane. I was like, are you serious right now? Like, God. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm still salty about that, I guess.
I used to think that it was me, but now see it wasn't. They told me to change and call me names, and so I popped one. Opinions all like assholes, and everybody's got one.
Sorry about the family friendliness, kind of went out the window for that there. Salt and pepper, shame on you. Anyway. Okay, wow. My mouth is dry, and my Ben is fanning down. My super fat. Oh, Oh dear. And I think that that's all the 90s that we can handle for one night. But I'm definitely going to do this again because this was awesome. You guys are awesome. And I do remember the Pizza Hut reading program. I got to ride in a limo because I read a lot of books and got the little stickers on my button, and I got to go to a limo to Pizza Hut, which was a huge deal because it was like half a mile down the road, but still, it was a good time. It was a good time, you know? So I was even a reader back then. So anyways, thank you guys for joining me for my first of, I'm sure, many 90s nights, because we could do this forever and I would never get tired of it, and I'm sure you guys wouldn't either. So thank you guys for hanging out with me, and be sure to join me again next Thursday night. I'm sure I'll have other vlogs up in the meantime, and be sure to check those out as well. Thank you very much. I love you all, and good night.